And this is our first podcast. Yay. So I mean, I guess we'll just go right into it. So, Albert,
Hmm.
how did we meet?
Good question. Well, we met. Okay, so me and Ben met in college. Uh, I think we met at a club. It was probably
Hmm.
our first time, like when you get freshman exposure to clubs. You're like trying to figure out what to um experience in college. I think we just both happened to be in this, kind of like Asian specific club, and we got kind of paired up, and we kind of just intermingled with the same audience, I guess. And that's how I first met, and then it just went from there. That happened about closing in 5 years now. I think
Yeah, yeah.
it's about to be 5 years, 5 years now. So
Damn, yeah. From my memory, it was more yeah, it was the club, but like I didn't talk to you
hmm
until you hung out with our mutual friend Aldrin, right?
yeah, yeah,
And all of a sudden I started to see you more and I was like, "Oh, this is the guy who was in the same club as me, Albert." And I was like, "Oh, I know he lion dances." Cuz like that was like your life.
oh,
That was like your life back then. You would always lion dance.
that's true. Yeah, I lion danced like,
Yeah.
oh, man, I had a lot of free time back then.
I don't necessarily know if you liked it. It kind of seemed like you were forced to do it, you know? But
I was pretty forced to do it. Like, I mean, it's fun, but
mhm.
I think at the time I've been in it for so long. It's like the feeling of, oh, the next generation of leaders should step up and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I was at that. I was definitely at that. Like, oh, I kind of done being a leader or in that leadership position for a really long time.
Yeah.
So I was like,
You're retired.
yeah, I'm about to retire soon, so someone else should take my spot. But I ended up being leader from when we first met for probably the next till now is probably when I can comfortably say I kind of stopped doing
Mhm.
leadership ish kind of position stuff. So yeah.
I like that. I like that. Well, we have a list of topics that you have, or that the chat has given us over the past month. Was it a month? When did you post this
I
podcast
think
thing?
it's been about 2 months now. So
What is it? We can just pick a random thing here. Let's see what's good. See, all these questions kind of not safe for work. So, how about how will we talk about your overall experience of college? Because as you know, we are almost done
hmm
with we're both doing 5 years of college. So, how has your overall experience of college been now that you can reflect on it?
um, college has been fun. I feel like I can't say I don't regret going to uh where I went to uni, as people like we call it college, right? But people around the world call it uni. I think it's kind of interesting. But um how do I say it? Going into it, I was very blind. Like I think I was one of those fortunate people to go to college because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people have access to education like that. So I think I feel very like trying to give back to my community, kind of just um I just giving back and trying to take all that I can. The five closing in 5 years that I've been there have been a really awesome time. Getting to meet a lot of people, including Ben himself too, and just everyone that I've met up along the path is pretty great. Like yeah, classes are classes and whatever, but I think the whole experience altogether, you know, is something you can't forget at all. So that's personally how I feel about my college experience. Or
Oh
yeah,
no, that's for sure. But me and you both have something similar, but we both switched our majors, right?
uh huh.
So for me, I was a kinesiology major, right? And then my third
Oh
year
yeah, you were.
of uni or college, like I switched to advertising, which was the best decision of my life. But
Mm-hmm.
you had a similar situation, right? You're
I
just
did.
like you were in CS,
I
yeah.
no, I started.
Oh
I feel like
god.
I took high school so seriously to get into college where we both went to, and I entered in as electrical engineering. So I
Oh my
did,
god.
I did. I don't even remember what I did back then, but I remember I had a whole resume. I had all my like pictures and all these applications of me applying um into this club that I ended up quitting a year later because they required you to stay in engineering for a year and then you can do whatever you want. That's like how I joined. And
Was it one of those ones where you pay or no?
no, it was like
No.
if you make it, you make it, or if you
Uh
have to apply to get into that club. So I was
ugh,
like, okay,
okay.
why not? That secures my admittance into college, and then got into it. Didn't really do too much, so I don't think I felt really at place there. And then I felt like sitting there solving math problems wasn't really my thing, so I decided to switch into a media studies major because I'm more into like entertaining people, kind of just uh being able to take people out of the reality of some things, or like I like to say I would like to story tell through a lens is how I say personally what I like to do. So yeah,
Well, you're doing that well streaming, Like streaming is a way of like,
yes, that's one of them.
entertaining.
But yeah, I think until my third year, or middle of my third year, I was like, I don't think EE is for me anymore, so I switched out. But yeah, I think a lot of people can be concerned that switching so late is a bad thing. But honestly,
It's not.
it's I don't know. I don't.
You'll be
It's
more
not that bad.
happy.
You'll be pretty. Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm happy. Oh my god.
But yeah, that's my personal college experience, and now I've been Twitch streaming on the side just for fun, just to see how it goes, and it's been really an amazing experience. So, if I would recommend people to kind of just try it out just for fun, see if you like it or not.
Albert just started during quarantine, and chat made him shave his head.
Yeah,
It was like probably like one of the funniest streams ever.
I never thought I'd do something like that as well either, but
Your mom's reaction and your sister's reaction was
they
awesome.
they didn't know what I was doing. They I don't think they understand what was going on, and I tried to explain to them off like on my own. They're
Yeah,
like, "Who are these people?" I'm like, "Oh, some of them are like people you've met."
I
Um,
remember a specific moment where you said you told your sister they want this, and then they're like, "Who's they?"
hey, they're like, they want
Yeah.
this. I was like, the Twitch. I was like, Twitch chat. They want to see this.
They're like,
And
"Who's
like,
they?" And
who
then
are
like
these people?
chat got all mad. Like I was in there too. It was like me, Christian, and I forgot who, but we were just saying they. We're people.
Let me
Like
pull up.
there's something, yeah, like not human.
Oh my gosh. What other topic?
Oh,
So,
that's great.
just to let people know too who are watching this, wherever they're watching this from, it's our first podcast, and it's something that I wanted to do for a while because you know it's different. I feel like I wanted to do something different in terms of content relation. But wherever you're watching this is our first time, so please bear with us. It's our first time doing something like this, so maybe we'll get better at it. But yeah, do you have a topic in mind you want to talk about, Ben?
Yeah. How about we talk about? There's a good one from your podcast form thing.
Uh huh.
So someone asked what was like an embarrassing moment that you've had before.
An embarrassing moment I've had
Yeah.
before.
Yes. We've all had those moments where like we're about to fall asleep and then you think about this one cringe thing you've done and you're like, why did I do that?
Uh, let me think about it real quick.
Yeah.
An embarrassing moment. Oh,
Oh, okay. I got one while you
I
think.
have one too,
Oh,
but
you
you can
got
go
one?
first.
Okay,
Yeah.
say it. No, you can go first. No, you go
Me?
first.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
I remember. I think I was at like, uh, I was at someone's birthday party, right?
Yeah.
and I think it's a bunch of people. This was obviously pre-COVID, you know. I
Yeah.
think this was a year ago. I was at a birthday party, and then trying to vibe, you know, just getting to meet everybody again there. And you know, when you meet someone, you know, let's say you know someone, right? Let's say Ben, I know you,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
there's a friend that you've brought along, and you're trying to introduce them to everyone that's at that place or the venue. Um, I've seen this. Let's say I've seen this or met this person before, but um, I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe your name, for example, was like, actually, I'm not gonna use an example, but I'll be like, oh, nice to meet you, you know, person. But turns out later in the night, I see the same person again, and we're, you know, just trying to chat it up and everything. Later in the night, I found out that I called them a different name,
Oh.
and turns out the name of the person that I called them with, they kind of don't really associate with that other person I accidentally called them. So they were nice enough to tell me like, "Hey, Albert, that's not my name." And I look at them, oh my gosh, wait, are you are you really? Like, yeah, my name's actually this. I go, oh my, I felt so bad. I felt really bad. And
Well,
what was
what I'm
up?
surprised is that person like had the courage to tell you that's not my name.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
that's
I've
good.
known them for some time now. Like it's been a while since I talked to them, but they were I can now that I think about it, they were probably playing along, but
Hmm.
they were nice enough to tell me that, oh, that like Albert, that's not my actual name. So I was just like, dang, I feel kind of bad. So
Uh.
that's probably the most embarrassing moment I remember.
Oh my god. Mine's like not. Mine's like really early in my life where I think. Okay, it's a poop story. We all like poop stories, right?
Okay.
So. Oh my god. So in second, I just recently I just remembered this too. Like when I was about to fall asleep, but like in second grade, I pooped my pants. Right before the bell was like the bell to go home was gonna ring, and when I pooped my pants, I guess like I guess like my underwear was loose because like one piece of shit like fell out, and I
Okay.
and and then the bell rang and I just booked it. I was just like I just started running, and
Actually, I
then
have a poop story too.
oh my god, yeah, you can tell it out there. And then like I remember like the very next day I see my teacher like scrubbing the part where my poop was like was like where I left it there. So I felt really bad. I
Oh
didn't
my
say
god.
anything, but pretty sure she knew it was me.
On
But
the playground? Was this on the playground
no, it
or?
was like in the class. You know how like we had carpet in our class, right? And
Oh, uh-huh.
and it was second grade, and we're it's like you're about to you set up the chairs and you're about to leave, and then like I was trying to hold it and I couldn't hold it, and then I just I let it out and I ran away.
Dang. You're
Yeah.
crazy. But my poop
What is your
story
poop?
was, I think
Yeah.
this was in third grade, and I was probably that kid that would always be picked last for like dodgeball at the time. I was like
Oh.
pretty skinny, but I didn't have like the most hand-eye coordination, I'd say.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I think you were playing kickball once, and I was out in like the playground field, like just hanging out with like my elementary friends at the time, and like I guess like the cooler kids are playing dodgeball. Like the ball came over to where I was hanging around at. They're like, yo, Albert, can you pass it back? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. So I kicked the ball, right, and for some reason my bowels just let go, and it was so quick. I kicked the ball like full force, like straight up, um, like a kickball, like you're trying to make a home run. Like I think I probably kicked it about that much force, and for some reason that same amount of force came out my butt, and I pooped my pants,
Oh.
and I played it off so hard. I was like, I did that little like kind of just like a little shake, like, oh, looking around like no one see that, and and I remember throughout time, uh, my third grade teacher, after we came back from recess, she didn't let you go out to the restroom again because she's like, "Oh, you
Oh,
should have
what a
went to
bitch.
she went out to the restroom during
During
recess. Like you should
recess.
have done that earlier, right?" So the whole time I was in class sitting on my poop, like in my pants, in class, and I'm surprised no one.
Oh,
I guess it wasn't like smelly or anything like that. And I was in class, like just sitting there,
surprisingly.
and
Huh.
I was like, I should probably go and clean this up somehow. But I just felt I was too nice back then. I didn't want to ask my teacher that. Like I didn't know at the time. I couldn't think how to say it properly. Like not just I want to go to the restroom, but it's like I don't want to say how do I say I have poop in my pants? Can I go to the restroom? That's
Yeah.
so I was as a young kid. I was kind of plus I really didn't know what to do.
No, honestly, as a kid, you're like shocked and you're scared. You don't want to get in trouble,
Yeah,
but it's also like really embarrassing.
it just came out. I don't know what I ate the day before, but it just came out.
Like, oh my god. How about? Oh my god. How about? Do you have any work stories for us? I know we were talking about how we both we're in the food service industry.
um, okay, so for people that are listening, myself and Ben both have experience as a server and have experience as being baristas as well. More
Yes.
specifically, like doing boba and in that barista field. Um, depends. What do you want to hear, a service job or you want to hear a boba? I don't know, a boba
I feel like
story.
every person kind of wants to work at a boba for free boba. So let's talk about the boba stories.
Okay.
You got any boba stories?
Um. So the boba place I used to work at, or I'll just say dessert for now, right? So story wise, it's interesting. I think it's the first. That was my first job in college. So I think my second year of college is the first job I ever had. I think besides like interning and volunteering, I don't think those really count. But like earning money. Um, I remember I was planning a Korean barbecue event for us that one night,
Mm-hmm.
and I came from work, right? And you know, I think my muscles weren't fully developed yet. So like when you're using boba, you're kind of like scooping this, um, getting this cup in that, cap in that, putting
Cupping,
ice in that,
yes.
and when we got to, I don't know, I didn't tell you. I don't think you know,
Okay.
unless I told you. But um, when we went to Korean barbecue that time, as I was cooking for us, I actually had was it carpal tunnel or something? A pinched nerve.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I like grabbed I like was cooking using the tongs, and then I felt something on my wrist, and I low key kind of jolted a little bit, but I was like, oh no, I thought my wrist was gonna like die or something like that, but probably not as interesting of a story. But
You should have told us, we wouldn't have made you cook.
I felt so bad. I was like, I was like, I'll be the host, and I was kind of like just I was like, I don't know if you remember, but I was
Dying.
like this, I was like
Dying as you
holding it with
hand
two
us your
hands,
meat.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But another story, I don't have anything crazy. From the
I feel like
boba
the
story,
barista, yeah, boba jobs are pretty tame.
pretty tame, yeah. Service jobs, on the other hand, though, that's something different,
Oof,
though.
that's a different story.
You want to start us off for that one, though?
Yeah. Um. Okay, so I worked at a ramen restaurant,
Uh,
and when people, this was a pretty popular restaurant. Um. Usually the lines would be like pre-COVID lines would be like 1 hour and 30 minutes.
right.
But there's this one time where I was like the person to seat people,
Mm-hmm.
and and I was just chilling. But we had one new guy, and he was actually, I would say he's a really hard worker, but he just decided that day I guess he was off. But I was seating people, and I see this couple, and my new guy brings the couple water, right?
Uh-huh.
And everything's all good. And then they go about the order, and everything's good, right? And soon after, he's cleaning the table right next to them. And so you have a tray, right? And he doesn't know how to hold it properly. Like, I guess his muscles, like you said, they're not developed.
Uh-huh.
So he puts like all the bowls and cups in the tray. He's walking, and he like trips up, and he like literally dumps water onto the guy. It's a girl and a guy. He dumps water on the guy by accident, and his back is soaked, like super wet with dirty water and like a little bit of ramen, and I
A
was
little bit
just
of
like,
ramen. Oh,
yeah, dirty bowls, yeah, yeah,
oh no.
yeah, and I was like, oh shit, and the guy is just like, he was silent. He was like just angry, and
Jeez.
we tried to calm him down. Like luckily, like we actually gave him like a full refund
Uh-huh.
and everything. But that's an instance of us messing up. But I'm sure there's like a bunch of stories of like customers being dumb. Like
Oh, plenty.
there's that example like, oh, like you tell a customer, oh, okay, I'm gonna repeat the order to you, this and that, and then you bring the food. I didn't order this. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yes, you did. This is the so and so, and they're like, oh, can you switch it out? I'm like,
What?
oh my god. And we're forced to do that because they didn't touch the food.
You for it?
So
Oh, cause like
we're forced to
that's
switch it out. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
it's just customer service,
Right.
and we're taught to do that. But just little annoying things.
I think on the customer side I've had before. I think people are especially in the food industry serving business. I don't know if they told you at your workplace because I worked at a sushi restaurant, so I was serving sushi, and I was always taught that the customer is always right, even
Yep.
if they're wrong.
Yep.
So as a customer, I don't think customers realize that, but if you complain about something or just say something that's like you didn't order this, then you're technically in the right, even though you're wrong.
Yeah.
Um, but I think in terms of service, like if you were the server yourself, I think you have the right to say whatever you think. But generally, every service job, I think, in my opinion, is the customer is always right. And I've had
Yep.
people where they come in, and I can they'll tell me straight up like, oh, this is my first time having sushi or having Japanese cuisine. And I'm
Oh
like, okay, for
no.
sure. And I'm, being nice, trying to tell them, oh, maybe this is like a California roll or something like that. And they'd be like, is imitation crab real? Like, no, imitation crab is
Is
imitation crab.
imitation. I
There'll,
love that.
there'll be something. They'll be like, what's the difference between like Tobiko and Masago? And then I had to explain them to that. And like and they're probably looking at the raw section of
Mm-hmm.
the sushi menu, and they're like, is this the cooked section? Like, no, that's
Only ask for
raw,
cooked
and then
sushi.
I'll ask them like, oh, this is where you're looking at and stuff like that. But I think I've had plenty of experience. Not, I can't really think. Maybe when we keep talking about it, I'll remember
Uh-huh.
um a specific story. But as far as I know, a lot of people like try to kind of. I've seen people. I've actually had one experience where I've like I was, how do I call myself? Kind of like an expediter in
Okay.
more upper terms. My place was really hole in the wall, so I think um my position as a server, I did a lot of things. So maybe like I'm like um running food, also taking orders, also refilling things. So
Dude,
and
that's
it
everything.
felt like
Yeah.
a one man job to me. I felt like I was running three different positions, but
Mm-hmm.
there was a time where I was fairly already experienced at my sushi place, and I've had multiple like experiences before where like, oh, there's like a little piece of hair and you had to make them a whole new one.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and
Happens.
specifically at my place there's three of us, so there's two sushi chefs and myself, or like maybe another co-server like helping me, right? And all of us have different types of hair. So I used to, well, I'm bald now, but I'm like pretty short haired.
Mm-hmm.
One of the sushi chefs, he has a ponytail. Another
Oh,
sushi
okay.
chef, he's clean shaven. And then we have my co-server who has really long black hair, like super long, like probably down to like past her shoulders or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
um
So it's a girl hair. Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
so I'm giving this order out to a table. They're chilling, and then they call me back 5 minutes later, and they've eaten a piece of the sushi, and then it kind of looked like the hair was just placed on top. And it's
Yeah.
strange because I was the one that put that out there for them. I didn't see anything there. at the
Uh-huh.
time. So, and then I go back and I'm comparing our hairs. I'm like, okay, whose hair is it? You know, I'm looking back, and it's straight up a blonde piece of hair. It's a, like
Oh,
you can
so it's
see.
their hair,
Yeah, you could
huh?
see, right? And I'm not
Yeah,
saying
it's
anything, but it just didn't match the hair color of anyone else in our
yeah.
employees. It's like, we'll give them, I guess we'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
We gave them another one, and we also, I was also nice enough to kind of just give them a discount on that
Oh,
too. I was like,
that's
kind
really
of like,
clutch of you. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't,
Wow, customer service.
yeah. So that's one story I could say in terms of like the customer side of things.
You know, damn. Yeah, jobs are. I mean, it's good experience. I think everyone. I think we talked about this before off the stream, but like everyone should have a job in the food industry or the retail industry.
Hmm.
I don't have any retail experience, but like
I don't
they get
either.
treated just as badly as food service people.
Yeah, we talked about it off stream, or we talked about it on our own time. Like, we think everyone should experience what it's like to be either in the food service business or the retail business because um I think I told Ben like it makes people more humble. I think I've become way more humble after actually after my food serving job because my boba job was kind of really chill. Didn't really have to talk to people as much, so I'm kind of just like taking your order, like, oh, here's your order, give it out, and that's at most it for probably like barista
Mm-hmm.
jobs.
Pretty chill. Yeah.
But I think when you learn service job, when you actually have to interact with people and help them out, you start to realize like you start to kind of think like, oh man, I think people are born inherently evil or something like that.
Yeah. I feel like that's definitely true. Um, let's talk about the birth of your streaming career. What
Okay.
made you what made you want to start streaming? I'm pretty sure a lot of people look up to you. So like you may not think this, but like
No,
a lot of
I don't.
people look up to Jamba,
I don't.
because you just started and you had an amazing birthday stream, and yeah, I think everyone was like, wow, Albert is
The
really doing this, and with 50 plus viewers
that
nonetheless.
was crazy, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think everyone that's here listening now or all and to come, the birth of it. What is it? So pandemic happens right this year, or it's been almost a year now ever since it happened,
Like
but
or
specifically,
late February,
yeah, specifically
March.
in the States, uh, it happened to us in March. So everyone got pulled out of college physically. They legit sent everyone like they sent everyone an email. I remember like saying if you live on campus, you gotta go home within the next 72 hours, something like that. So I was helping people pack their stuff to go home, like because there's friends I know that aren't from where we're from, and I remember buying. I remember getting into PCs at that time because like I always ran a laptop to kind of do my classwork, and I was like, maybe I should just do a dedicated home PC, and then I started to get into it, and then classes coincidentally started going online, and then some classes require you to have a camera anyways. So I was like looking at
Mm-hmm.
webcams, and at the time webcams were still low in production, like a lot. So I was like, dang, okay, and then I had a mic too, and I had a blue snowball back then, and
Yep, yep.
I
I
think it
still
was
use mine.
it's either you or someone else like, yeah, Albert, you should try streaming. I was like, what makes you say that? I'm like, I don't know, maybe something fun. He's like, I'm like, technically, and then I think you were like, you already have everything a streamer needs.
Yeah,
Like you are
the
true.
whole
I have
setup.
like I have a very basic, setup. It's like, sure, we'll give it a try. At the time, I had really, really bad internet,
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the
super
only
bad.
problem. Yeah.
The early streams, I think my first stream was I streamed during so when did I start streaming? Honestly,
Summer, right?
summer? No, I think that's too soon. I think I
I feel
started.
like it is summer, right?
Was it? We'll just say
Because I was
summer.
still I was still at my server job during the summer, right? So I feel like you were. you just
Was it?
started off or something. I don't know.
Let's just say maybe beginning of like fall. I think.
Okay,
I think it's been too early. Like, let's say probably end of summer. So I
end of
didn't
summer.
have the best internet at the time. Oh yeah, it was summer because I remember it was sometime as I remember I had like a whole month of no internet at home specifically. So I had to drive out to like use hotspots or like Wi-Fi, like a Starbucks
Oh my god.
Wi-Fi to like upload videos and stuff like that. I think I started streaming sometime in the summer or like early fall.
Yes.
Um,
Apparently it's August. You started streaming.
August. Okay, so like yeah,
Yes.
so like early fall ish. How did I start? So I started like I was like, oh, everything's fine except my internet. So everything is very pixelated. I really wanted things like in my mind. I like trying my best to make things look good.
Hmm.
Even though like I feel like I would want to be call myself a perfectionist, but I'm like nobody's. You can't be perfect at all. Well, you can
Uh-huh.
try your best,
Of
but I
course.
think it. I think you try and people see it. This shows a lot. Um, so I started streaming. I think I was just streaming like us, and I was like, I think our like I think if you put us in a world like a outsider's perspective, it's like saying, "Oh, those group of people, I want to be their friends," or "Oh, I want to hang out with them." So I think that was the vibe I was going for. Like, "Oh, it's just
Really
us
chill.
playing games, and hopefully we make you laugh." You know, that was what I was going for. And then after I started streaming, I got to meet really cool people. Um, and I think learning more about the Twitch community, I think I've gotten a lot more experience now than before. Um, there's a lot of good people out there, and there's there's also kind of weird, interesting people as well. But overall, I've had a really nice experience with Twitch. So
How would you like go about like what was like going through your thought process when the first time you hit like go live, you know? I bet like a lot of people want to do streaming, but like they're afraid of like people criticizing them or like whatnot.
personally, that was me too. I always hover over like the start streaming button. Like, are people really gonna watch me sit in my room, and game? But people do that. They prove me wrong. They like doing what they like watching
Like
people, right?
12 viewers while playing ARAM. This guy.
Yeah, yeah. They'll watch, and I was like, sure, let's just give it a try. I think the mindset I have now is I don't really care what people say nowadays.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think it's very like taxing on you to focus on the negative and bad things that people say about you, or like, oh, why would someone watch this content or things like that. I think if you have a passion, if you think you have some kind of content to portray or some kind of personality to show out there, then I don't think there should be anything that stops you. um yeah.
That was well said. Damn, shout out to say now everyone who wants to stream, just hit that button or YouTube channel or business,
Yeah,
feel like
whichever
yeah.
platform you're doing. I don't think I think it's easier to focus on yourself rather than focus on what other people think of you. Because it's really, at the end of the day, um it's your stuff, and
Mhm.
either people like it or people don't like it, then that's what it is. But if you can't think you can cater to that audience or anything like that, then I think you should just worry about what you're doing yourself specifically.
It's also like the thing of like, oh, you were gonna play this game anyways, so you might as well just stream it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're already gonna watch this anime or series, you might as well make a YouTube video on it and like see where that goes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think just producing content is also like a form of, how do you say it, like a form of like relaxing in a way.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's the chat's trolling. Anyways, well, how would you for okay, going back to the streaming stuff, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you've gotten your first couple streams under your belt, and now you have your birthday stream,
Uh-huh.
right? How do you how do you go about like setting up that whole like event? I
My
guess because I would call that an event, your whole birthday stream.
Uh-huh. How did it happen?
Yeah, explain what was going through your mind because like I think you started streaming like eight o'clock at night, and it went
Uh,
on till like
so
12 or 1.
I think for me, um, and I do want to say this because I kind of want to be a smaller streamer because I think the intimacy is more better that way. Um, on my birthday, I was like, uh, where we live, we just got locked down again. There's no other way we could, you know. I also kind of don't really celebrate my birthday that much, anyways. But people like celebrating it for me for some reason. So I was like, maybe I should just incorporate a birthday and a stream. So we'll just do a birthday stream. People do that, right? So I was like, let's do something where virtually I'm there in the room with you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
imagine a birthday party, like, we're having it at a restaurant or something, and you just wanna, relax, hang out with people. But I think I was just kind of like, this is the most I can do, and I think for me, it was kind of like my way of giving back to people that have spent the time to know who I am as a person or as a streamer as well. So that's just my um take and giving back to what people have invested time in me and everything. So I think on my birthday I did it's crazy. It was a kudo board that was really nice. I did not expect that at all because
Yeah, I don't know who I forgot who I don't know who made it, if it was Christian or someone, but I got Christian sent it to me and I was like, whoa, there's like already a lot of people on here,
uh
and I was like, damn, he about to cry, and oh, and I was right. This man, like a lot of people supported, like not just like personal friends, but like you have made like online streamer friends too, which I'm impressed by, to be honest.
hmm Yeah, so I think so. He gets special shout out here. His name he goes by
Yeah.
Zyro,
Yes,
Javier. I
Zyro.
met him through a mutual as well, and honestly, I didn't expect to. Like I always had this thing back then, like probably like when people played Maple Story a lot.
Ooh, let's
To
go.
like, I never thought like I'd be like, oh, this is my friend I met online like that, Like I've always had
Yeah.
friends that are always in town or like I physically met before, but he's probably like the first like real person I never got. It feels like I met him, but I've never like shook his hand, gave him like I've never actually seen him in person before, but it feels like he's there, And
Wow.
we started off the stream with that, and then on and yeah, I cried obviously, and then I was like, we're just
Wholesome.
gonna
It's
have
wholesome.
fun. Cause I always had I remember telling you or like telling other people like, what if it's my birthday, but this time it's my birthday gift to everyone that attends, right? So I was like having this crazy
Mm.
like millionaire mindset where it's like, what if I got a yacht or something, and then yeah, it's my birthday, but it's a party for everybody. So I think that was my um very small glimpse of what I wanted to picture. Cause I was like, I'll be the one DJing. There's food everywhere. You can eat as much as you want, and then I think that's the most I could do on a live
Yeah,
stream.
no, the
Very
DJing was
scuff.
super cool.
Thank you, but very scuff, unprofessional. But I tried to do that, and then yeah, that was a stream.
No, that was very wholesome, very cool when you brought out the DJing. Everyone was cat jamming, and I think Noel put like a pug, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So there's like a pugs and cat jamming going everywhere. That was fun. That was a fun time.
I'm glad you had. I hope a lot of people had fun too. I saved the VOD, but I don't know if I'll ever, you know,
You should
re-upload it
definitely
again or
like
anything.
upload it. Yeah. But no, shout out
Mm,
Zyro. He was playing Pokemon Platinum, and I saw I saw him I saw him beat Cynthia, but it took him like 6 or 7 tries, but he did it. It was really funny. He's a really good streamer.
all right. Switching topics though, but
Yes,
is there something
yes.
you want to talk about specifically? I know you want to talk. I know you want to talk about relationship and stuff like that, but I feel like it's too.
That's okay. We How about we talk about the first anime that got you into anime? You know?
The first anime that got me into anime.
Yeah, because you've always seen like Pokemon, right? But like that didn't get you into anime, right?
Uh huh. I
You know,
think
so I'm talking about like stuff like Naruto or like
for
maybe
me,
a romance anime.
it was Naruto for sure, because he used to
That's
play.
what got you into
They
it.
used to play on like what, Cartoon Network or
It was Toonami at night.
Toonami at
Yeah,
night. So
yeah,
like I remember 9:30 or like
yes.
10. That's where like the episode would air. I'm like, damn, you know, freaking Sasuke is freaking doing the Lions Barrage thing.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot he had that move.
Um, but I was really young. I think I was like 10. That Naruto was my first anime for sure. Um, and I think I branched from Naruto to. I mean, I played like Dragon Ball
Uh-huh, the games, right?
as games, but I never knew what anime was. I was like, oh, these are
Yeah,
pretty.
like you don't think of it. You just think it's
Yeah, I'm
cool
like, oh, this guy's
show.
transforming. He's fighting people, you know. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So I think for me it was the big three. People say like Naruto, Dragon Ball, and then One Piece. So
Yes.
I think I went to probably like Naruto, and then I went to Dragon Ball, and then One Piece. I kind of watched Bleach, but not really.
I just
Uh,
finished it. It was pretty good. Not gonna
what
lie.
else did I watch? I was really like into the older, and then I went to like Yu Yu Hakusho, Ranma
Oh,
one
that
and a
was
half.
good. Yeah, yeah.
What else did I watch?
You watched that
Shoot,
spell?
I played the game, but I actually
Oh,
didn't
you played
really
the game.
watch uh Zatch that much.
They
I'll look
never
this up.
finished it in English, the Zatch series, so I was pretty sad.
Oh, Inuyasha, the
Oh, Inuyasha. Oh yes.
Full Metal.
Oh, and then March and Awaken Romance, what Christian was talking about before.
Mm.
That was a good one.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! When I actually
Well, you don't think Yu-Gi-Oh's like an anime when you're a kid, right? You
no,
just thought it was
I
like
was
a
like it's
show.
like some people fighting with cars, but it's an
Yeah.
anime, you know. But I think
It was
Naruto for
successful
me,
marketing. It was
yeah.
really good. I bought so many Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I bought a lot of Pokemon cards actually.
Ooh. Dude, you should do a pack opening of
A
Pokemon
pack
cards.
opening of Pokemon
Yeah,
cards. I
I think
can
people would like that.
if I get into Pokemon cards, I guess. Again.
Again, yeah.
I have a lot
I've
of
been thinking
Pokemon
about
cards
it.
around my house somewhere. It's like in the corner of my room.
Dude, you might want to look through them. They might be very valuable.
I did before. And then
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's okay.
Okay.
What other questions? Other
What
topics?
while you're looking for more topics, I'll say that like sure, besides Toonami, right? There was this one time I had I had Dish the satellite, so I had like Dish and like for my my TV thing, and
Uh
they would get like a shit ton of channels. And when I was browsing to the channel, I found this anime channel, and it was playing an anime called To Love Ru, and it's like
oh.
this this is a very like not safe for work anime. It's like very like etchy romance,
Uh
and as a little 13-year-old eighth grader or however old I was, I was like, oh, let me check this anime out. So this is the time, okay, Albert, I don't remember,
huh.
but on YouTube where anime was in there was anime on YouTube and it would be like part one, part two, part
Oh
three,
no,
right?
yeah, yeah. It'll be like a
Yeah.
13-minute episode, and like this
Yes,
part
yes.
one, part two. Yeah.
Yeah, because people had YouTube had limits for people who don't have enough subs. So like I think it was like a
Oh really?
12 or 15 minute
Mhm.
limit, right? And so people would split these videos up into freaking parts, and it was like a scramble to find them because sometimes like one part would get taken down. But To Love Ru was what got me into like online stuff instead of like just watching on TV. Very good.
I remember. I don't remember exactly like I know the part one, part two things you're talking about, and like
Yeah.
Ing sub
Ing sub, yeah,
that.
Ing dub.
I think I probably watched. Ah, shoot. I probably was like into Naruto at the time when that came out, like early YouTube,
Mm,
like 2009
eight,
and stuff like
9.
that. So And I also watched a lot of the freaking Flash animations and everything like that. So
Ooh, those were good.
let me see. Okay, there. I've been looking around. I think a topic interesting. There's
Hit us with a topic.
people are asking a lot of significant other esque
Well,
kind of.
people want to know. Give them the tea.
I don't know if that's something we should talk about though. Yet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
How about we talk about no, that's a weird topic too. What could we talk about that's around relationship stuff?
How about we talk about like your okay? How about your like first crush? That's wholesome, right?
My first crush? Are you gonna talk about
Yeah.
your first crush too?
Okay, I can talk. Yeah,
You
I
can
can
start
talk
off.
about. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I am taken by Albert. No, I'm joking. By my other half, Sammy. We've been dating for 7 years. So, tell you the genesis of this relationship. So, I transferred from a very I won't say ghetto, but it was a very like not top performing school, right? So I went there my freshman year of high school, and then I transferred to a different high school,
Hmm.
and and Kima, I don't know these people. I only know like three people in the entire high school, and these three people are like my best friends, right? Um, and I go there. I don't have a phone, so I can't find my three best friends.
Oh,
So, so I'm just running around. But then in my chemistry class, I see my soon-to-be girlfriend, and we needed to. This is chemistry class, and you had to find a partner.
uh-huh.
So,
Dang, I haven't heard this
so,
story in a really long time.
so, so I'm like really fucking shy. I'm like okay, the nice guy I was talking to like gets swooped up by his friend that he's known for freaking 4 years. So I'm left hanging, right? So I'm like, fuck, I need a partner, and I'm like, oh, there's this really cute girl right here. So like I walk up to her, I'm like, do you want my partner? And she's like, yeah. So then there's this stupid. I don't know why we needed to like go into groups for this dumb lab, but like we had to count beans, right? Coffee
Oh,
beans or like uncooked
wait, was
beans,
this
and
chem class?
yeah, it was chem class. It was like the first day of like the second day of class, and we had to count beans for some reason, and
Huh.
then we're supposed to weigh these
I used to count
beans.
like M&Ms or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why we did it for chemistry class, but it was the
Hmm.
first lab. I'm gonna give it like whatever, right? I guess it's just for us to get used to it. So we count these beans, and while we count the beans, our fingers touched. I'm like, ooh, ooh. Our fingers touched, and then I'm like, okay. And from there, like, I guess we just kept on talking to each other, and I still don't have a phone, so I added her on Facebook, and I was like, hey. She was like, hey, and then we just kind of messaged each other like every day,
Uh-huh.
and from there, it just blossomed to a relationship, and by the time I started dating Sammy, I found my friends. And they're like, what the fuck? How did you find a girlfriend before finding us? And I was like, dude, I don't know, but hi,
Were they
Yes.
salty? They're like, okay.
No, I mean, they're supportive. They're just like, what the fuck? You just transferred here. It's only been 2 weeks. I was like, yeah.
It's
I
only been
It was
okay.
like we were talking. We didn't become official until like a month later, but like they knew we were gonna date eventually.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so we were already talking and we are hanging out during lunch. Friends are just like, okay. But yeah, let's talk about your first crush or your experience with love.
Uh, well, I am not in a relationship as Sammy as Ben is with Sammy.
Uh,
So yes, I am single. If people really want to know what the
Ladies, guys, guy,
um
no,
my first
ladies.
my first crush was, I think, my second year of high school. Um, well, I met someone, or sorry, person I had a crush on. Like we known each other since middle school, but we didn't get to know each other till like high school. I
Mm-hmm.
used to play badminton back in high school, and we were both on the same
Ooh.
team. And we just like turned out um, we were really like good pairs, or
You're
I
a
feel like our
duo, right?
yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
our sportsmanship kind of chemistry kind of really worked. And I was like, oh, it's we're actually kind of decent. We're kind of killing these people out here, out in the field, and and we have like similar classes together. So it's like, oh, it's just like you hanging out with like your sports team, or like the football
Mm,
cheerleaders hang
yeah.
out with the cheerleaders. The football people play with the football people. It's like kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I guess it kind of just grew into like more than that. I remember we had an away game, and we were talking about stuff, and apparently um said person I had a crush on wasn't really mentally and physically there at that
Uh-huh.
game. And turns out it was like like we needed this game to like go up to like the next level of the championships, or like
Uh-huh.
um
You're in like a bracket.
I didn't want to tell her like,
Yeah.
oh, our apparently our game is the legit tiebreaker. I didn't want to tell her that
Oh.
because
Uh-huh.
like when she finished a set, like in tennis, you switch sides. So
Yeah.
when we switched sides, the coach told me like, you guys are the last one. Like we're 8-8 right now. We need you to be the tiebreaker. And I was like, oh, And the game was
That's a
the
lot of
game. It
pressure.
was really close. Like we kept getting deuce, and then or we kept getting tie, and then you had to win by
Uh,
2, and then you kept getting a
yes.
tie, win by 2 again. We eventually won. Whole team is going crazy, and um as we're walking from the badminton court back to the bleachers, I just like, I don't know, oh my god, chills talking about this. But she looked back at me, I looked at her, and I just felt bad, so I just gave her a hug, and then like everyone saw. And I think my feelings just kind of like went went from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you can say it's very wholesome. Like I was just like, I as a person, I felt really bad for her, what she had to go through. Like imagine like doing something so physical when you have like a headache, or like you can't see straight or stuff like that. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
she like it was a really intense game too. And I think we had, or she found out that I liked her, and then I found out she had some feelings for me at the time. But and we did confess, but I think we both didn't. We both kind of had like commitment issues, and we're both like really young, like high
Yeah.
schoolers. Like so we both never been in a relationship. So it's kind of like, do we know what we're talking about, or do we know um what's to come and everything like that?
Got
We're
special
good.
guest right here.
Yeah. Um, but other than that, the timeline was really weird, and I wouldn't say it just didn't happen out really well. But that was
It's okay.
probably the first experience I had.
I think a lot of people go through that where like two people like kind of like each other, but then just nothing happens,
Hmm.
you know? I think it's totally fine. Yeah, well, people know your love story now. They can stop asking.
Yeah, I like we had some like really nice interactions, but I wouldn't say like how do I say it? I was definitely heart stricken. I think
Mm-hmm.
first year of college, because probably I was like maybe I wanted to bust out the big question, but the time was really weird, and then they got uh said person got together with someone else I know, and other person I know really like it was like the whole school knew. It was really weird. My high school was really small,
What the?
but the whole school
Wow.
knew like, oh, Albert, are you gonna ask her out to prom? Are you gonna like bust the question or something? I'm like, I'm literally a 16-year-old kid. You guys are making it sound like we're gonna get married or something.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, y'all chillax. There's nothing, it's nothing that crazy. Um, so I think I was a very, is hopeless romantic the right word? I don't know. I was very like um kind of just felt like my life dependent on that person.
Mm-hmm.
But as I like in college though, I was like, oh, maybe maybe I should just let the bird out the box, and then I did, and then it wasn't really well received, and then that time of my life was kind of really interesting because a lot of conflicting ideas, and like it was pretty bad, hot mess. I felt really bad for the person I had a crush on because she didn't really do anything wrong in the first place, but as the other
Uh-huh.
person, and it was really messy. But they're out now, they're chilling.
Okay. Are
So
these
yeah,
are is the crush you had, is she taken or is she single yet?
she's still taken by the same person.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the same person. Okay, well,
yeah,
it's okay. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And
that's what they always.
I'm pretty sure everyone in who's listening like can sympathize with you. Like, yeah, there's a question. What do you think of would you start like an OnlyFans or a Patreon? I know like OnlyFans and Patreon are different, but they
In,
serve the same purpose.
so what, like,
Funding.
am I allowed to just post wholesome content on OnlyFans?
I think you can do whatever you want, yeah. I mean, but yeah, I think so. I honestly don't know why. Like, I think Patreon has some like censorship, and that's why people use OnlyFans for their
Well, I don't
pictures.
got much to offer, so, and I don't think my content is worth being locked yet for
Yeah.
money, because I don't want, like, if you're supporting, you should just support and just watch it. I feel like if I put money to things that I do, like, art has some things, but if I'm just putting out there with the mindset of here, if I make you laugh at the end of the day, or at the end of that whatever content, people use the word content in really different ways, but whatever I'm dishing out, putting on your plate, that's all I ask. Like, if I make you food and you enjoy it, that's it. uh
Uh-huh.
Unless it's like food that I buy or something like that. But let's say I make something for you, right?
Yeah.
And like I'm out here, like that's what my vision was Twitch streaming. Is like, oh, maybe, then like people keep telling me, oh, a lot of things, like, oh, I really like your content. I'm like, really? I just sound like another dude on Twitch. There's nothing that big. But I feel like now at the end of the day, if I am able to change the way you think or make you feel better than you were before, I think my end goal was, I think it's worth it, rather than, I don't think I'll ever start some Patreon,
Yeah. Yeah, you're
OnlyFans
too
thing.
wholesome. Too wholesome for that. Well, now you got me thinking. Would you ever do a cooking stream? I know, like, okay, you always play, League or Stardew,
Uh
and now we're doing this podcast. But like, would you ever do a cooking stream?
huh. I actually wanted to do a cooking stream because my sister ordered some wagyu. I wanted to display that
Oh,
somehow, but I don't know how to stream from my phone yet.
uh-huh.
Or I would
Yeah,
say,
hope maybe someone can in your circle can help you
yeah. Or if I
figure that
really just
out.
try and research, then I'll easily figure it out. But
Uh-huh.
let's just say the conditions that I'm under is I wouldn't say ideal yet.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I would probably want to do a cooking stream. It'd be interesting, but I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. Let's transition this into, okay, so to preface this, we both live with our parents, right? We're trying to save that money,
Uh huh.
right? Would when and like when would you want to move out? You know?
Mm, like, are we talking about time frame or like?
Yeah, we can do a time frame. Like, you don't have to say like, oh, when I'm 25, I'm fucking out of here. No, it's like, oh, like, or you can say like when I get this job, and it's financially stable enough, I
Uh,
will move
I
out.
feel like if it's something like if I have to work at a location, I have to be there every day kind of thing. Like if I have to move up, like out of my, like I have to move out of my house, then yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I am in no rush to be honest, but
Same actually.
I feel like I would probably want to move out maybe like probably 5+ years from now,
Yeah.
when I'm like, I honestly, I mean, I have a car, but I would want to own like my own car maybe.
Ooh,
And
and
like,
yeah, yeah.
cause if I move to a new house, yeah, but how am I? am I just gonna take public transportation again? And I have had my fair share of public transportation already, so I would prefer not to.
You know, oh wait, let me stop you right there. You know, there's some people out there who have never taken a bus or a trolley.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
it's crazy to me because like I don't know, growing up, like oh yeah, you know, just like you know, like I have busy parents, right? Like
Hmm.
so, like everyone knows, like I said to me, my parents own a donut shop. They're always working, so like times where I would have to take a bus if I wanted to get somewhere. So honestly, yeah, it's interesting
I
to hear
think
that.
I think people should probably experience that too, just to see, what's up.
Yeah, just to see how it works. It's 250 where we live in Southern California, I think for the bus. I think so. It's been a while.
It has been a while, but I remember I took public transportation going into college, out of college. Probably my first year for sure.
Oh, you did?
I did. Wait, did I
Was it
never
the
tell you
trolley
that?
or the bus?
It was the
No, I didn't
trolley.
know. Oh,
I
okay.
took the trolley from, or I used to take the bus to the trolley and then trolley into school.
Oh. See, I was gonna ask you where, but I don't want to dox you, so
Oh
I
well,
was trying to think it. Yeah.
wherever your mind takes you. It
Okay.
in terms of transportation, it would always take me 45 minutes
Ugh.
to go to and from every time.
See if you think about it, it's not that bad because when I would drive to school in traffic in the morning, it would be like 30 minutes. So you're only like saving. I mean, you're only like losing 15 minutes, but at the same time, you can study, you can do your homework. So
Yeah,
like, yeah.
but yeah, there's some interesting people on public transportation too.
Oh,
Very interesting people. I've had someone eat a bell pepper next to me,
raw. Was it
raw,
raw?
raw. Like not next to
Oh my
me,
god.
like next to me, but like a seat away or two.
Uh
You
huh.
can smell. I don't know. Like I had that, and crackheads and stuff like that. It's kind of
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's something else. So
Hey, but cooked bell peppers are good, but raw, I'm not
yeah,
sure about
like
that.
munching on like an apple. That's what I experienced. So
Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. How did we get on this topic of public transportation?
car from moving out
Oh
from our
yes,
house.
moving out. Yes, let's go back to that. So there are a lot of people who are in a rush, but I want to give some advice. You don't have to move out like right away. If you're fortunate enough to have like parents that were willing to house you, there's no rush to it because I have a lot of coworkers back when I was a server at the ramen place. A lot of people moved out and they're my age and now they're paying like a lot for rent and guess what? COVID like has taken away dining, so their tip money is really low, and I would say they're living paycheck to paycheck, and you don't want to do that at age 22 or 23. Like what
Really
the?
young,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
early
you're so
20s.
young. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to do that. What the? Why are you trying to live paycheck to paycheck? What's wrong with you? And these people they would move back right to their parents, but they're stuck in a lease, and they have a group of 5 people or whatever. Let's just say that,
Uh huh.
and they're just I don't know. It's just you're just throwing money away. You should just save. That's just my. You should save and start streaming. Do what Albert's doing. You know, do your dream on the side while you're living with your parents. You know.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with living with your parents, unless maybe there's some like other supernatural force that's like, oh, I don't find living with your parents of the fun thing to do. But I mean, honestly, it's like, not a bad thing. I
Yeah,
don't,
but there are some
you know,
people though. There are some people who like their family situation is really bad, and I get it.
that too. Yeah, I totally understand. Whatever you know you need to do, but if you're fortunate enough to, what Ben's trying to say is like live with family or have someone that can house you and you don't have to pay, or like I'm straight up, like I try to help out with my family a lot, like paying internet and stuff like that, because I am trying to be a sustainable adult. But like
Plus, you want good internet.
that too. um uh I wanted to like, oh, pay back, or like, but they're always like, no, it's okay, we have it, so I'm just trying my best to see what I can give back to my family. So if you're fortunate enough, then just you come home to cook meals, like, would you not like that? But That's just me.
Oh yeah.
Hey, the top we're at. Well, we're past an hour. You want to keep going?
Damn. Yeah, let's I think we can keep it rolling a little bit.
Okay.
Um let's bring up another topic. Let's think. Let's transition to okay. I'm sorry, but we're gonna use some filler questions right here, but um let's just say streaming pops off, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
let's just say you can live off streaming, right? Now from there, what how would you like how would you say you would keep the ball rolling when like let's just say you could finally sustain yourself
Oh.
while streaming?
Oh, so you're saying wait,
Like you can move out. Yeah, I'll rephrase the question. So like let's just say like okay, let's just say like 1 year from now, like you're streaming, you're doing pretty good in streaming, right? Like would you then try to like move out with friends, or would you try to stay home, or would you try to like how would you keep up this streaming stuff? Would you diversify your content, YouTube, like add YouTube to it?
I
What are
feel
you
like
thinking?
um personally for me, um see now it's the battle of between do I want to keep doing this? And part of me says like because I'm so small, like it doesn't matter in terms of a public view. But I feel like as friends that know who I am and I know who they are and want to push for me to keep going, then I don't want to say no because it's kind of like oh, I don't, everyone's pouring out their support for me, and it's like, oh, I'm done, kind of thing. That's probably like
It is weird.
the, 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 the rope that keeps pulling back and forth for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because there, and people have seen it on YouTube. There'll be people you've known for so many years. They'll just stop because life happens, or they'll just take a
Oh
break,
yeah.
and personally for me if that's like the sign of oh this is the next generation's uh this is the saying of the next generation should step up and fill that role, then that does also isn't a bad thing as well. But for me personally, if I had if in some condition where I'm like you know uh be able to move out comfortably or stuff like that, or moving with like people, because for me I think I would want to like move in with like housemates or something like that, because I mean my mom kind of talks to me on the side. She's like, "I want to get you a house and get you out of here." I'm like, okay, I'm not complaining about that.
Uh-huh.
But I would be open to like kind of just uh with like a group of I don't know, four other people or like three other
Mm-hmm.
people owning a house together. Personally, the reason why I want a house is because I just want a backyard to do things like grill or like chill
Mm-hmm.
back
Yeah.
there. um I feel like for me that's another opportunity of to up my streaming content or just entertainment. At the end of the day, I'm entertaining, right? I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the idea of having an audience, because there's people that know who I am now, besides you, who actually knows who I am.
Mm-hmm.
There's people
Yep.
that I would want to get to know more as a person, and with that space, I'd want to do more things like rather than what I'm limited to right now, just sitting here and stuff like that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who inspired you to like stream? Like who were you like, oh, I want to be like, because we all have like idols, right? Like who I want to be like this guy's toast or offline
Uh,
TV. Yeah.
for me, it wasn't any big time streamers, but it
Oh,
was uh should I plug him? Sure, I'll plug him.
yeah.
He
If you
goes
want
by
to.
he goes by AC from Space. Really close friend of
Oh.
mine. He started streaming because he just wanted to start streaming too. I actually forgot why he started streaming, but he just wanted to do it. And he decided to start streaming. I came onto the scene like, oh, this seems very fun, but also interesting at the same time. Because when you're starting out, it's like either you're like people or mutuals are there to support you, or just straight up strangers that you want to open up to is also kind of like I can see how it becomes very intimidating
Yes.
because
Uh-huh.
you've never met these people before. It's like playing RuneScape for the first time. You never met these people before, but they're helping you out, you know?
Shout out RuneScape. Yep.
So that's how I feel about um But that's how I kind of got a little inspired. So.
Ooh, I like that. Shout out AC. I also know AC. Really, he does a lot of things. He's into photography. He does streaming. He he has a real job. Not to say
Mhm.
like not to like say like oh retail or being a server is not a job, but he has a job that is related to his major, which is very hard to find. Like it's really hard. But I wanted to ask streaming wise and school wise, like have you ever experienced like burnout? Because like there's times where I've been burnt out from like school, and I'm just like I
Mhm.
like work too. Like when working and going to college at the same time, very hard to do. Like I'm sure like a lot of people have had that or like experienced like at least one of the two.
Um, I've experienced it many times. Specifically, I think there was a time in streaming I felt very burnt out, but
Uh huh.
I think it's the mindset I went under of like, oh, I have to hit these numbers, hit these things, like milestone kind of things. But I think also that you should be kind of in the mood, like depending on where you want to go with your type of content or type of entertainment personality you want to portray. Like if it's like if you're, let's say, not much of a talkative person in your personal life and you're
Mm-hmm.
trying it out on stream, I think that's two conflicting things that you have to battle with, right?
You're being like okay, not to be mean to like whoever the person is, but like you're being fake. Like that's not you.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
being fake on a platform is way more tiring than just being you. I think it
Yeah.
helps if people are kind of struggling with that. Um, I was very burnt. There was a time where I was very burnt out with school and work for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, there's a ambulance
Oh,
coming. Hold
I
on.
hear we got a little ambulance.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, I went to school and I also went to work. And it's kind of crazy because I was like, damn, I had the energy for that. But now I'm just there's a time where I was just going straight to school at home in the comfort of my home, literally 10 feet away. I just had to
Mm-hmm.
sit here, and I still feel burnt out. It's crazy, but I think things happen. Just take a breath. Just take a breath. Chill out for a bit, and just kind of like give yourself multiple breaks if you need to. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
because how long you took like a week break, right, from streaming? Just like, you know.
I took well, yeah, I took breaks because I had finals and tests coming up, also work as well. So in
Yep,
my
yep.
priority list, streaming wasn't there at the time. But yeah, like sometimes I'd be like, oh, I really want to go back to stream every now and then, because it's been a while. But other than that, it's kind of just like, do what was it? Um, it's like a hobby. I don't know. How do I say it?
It's like what you want to do on your free time, right? You want to entertain. You like entertaining people.
Yeah.
Like I know from college, we are actually in a media club, so we made
Oh
videos, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very fun. That's how me and you became like pretty close. And Noel, shout out Noel. Um, but we would make videos together, whether it's acting and like, dude, I would never thought I was never gonna act. I was
Same.
like, what the? I was like, I want to be behind the camera. Turns out, like,
Being in
we
front
need
of
a
it's
lot
not
of
bad
people. Yeah,
either.
it's not bad. You want to be in the front of the camera too. You have to, cause like once you know what the like how, like when you're in front of camera, like you also understand like, oh, okay, I gotta act good so my editor can do stuff right, or like so this whole thing could be a success, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just these little parts. But I always thought you were an entertainer. There was this funny one where Albert had to be a hype beast, and he was covered in drip. His drip was so hard, dude. It was like he was wearing Yeezys, right? He was wearing
Yeah.
it was Noel's Yeezys. I'm so not into shoes anymore. I don't even remember what kind they were, but it was the orange one, and
Uh huh.
around your neck you had my zebras.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and you
And I had
and you
I
had
had
a
like a
Supreme
Supreme
headband.
waist headband and a Supreme fanny pack and stuff. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, you were always an entertainer, so that was probably one of the most fun times I've had in college. Video, and you're actually doing that in your job now. You know, you're doing video stuff. I don't know if you want to talk about your work, or if you can say that for
Uh,
another part. But yeah,
Probably.
your
I
your
mean, I
job
can.
is related to it.
Job is related to it. Personally, I like I say before, like I said before, like I want to tell a story through a lens, like how I see things, and hopefully people that are aspiring to be like an editor, filmmaker, videographer, anything, um, they it people worry about creativity a lot too. Um, and eventually people like myself included, like you worry about when can you fill up so much of that to where it'll stop completely. And I do have those lingering thoughts every now and then. um but I feel like you shouldn't worry about people that judge your work so much, because that's probably what is making you think about that. I think if you feel like you have a formula or something you can grab inspiration from, then there's no like answer to say like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's like no right or wrong answers. Like you
Yeah.
just do it and you learn along the way. It's like I remember God, I always say this quote, but like it was Sammy's mentor, um and he was like, it's not about the camera, it's about the person holding the camera. And I was like,
Mm.
I was like, oh.
You're a
So then that's when I started using my phone for videos. I was like, I don't need a freaking DSLR, like a Canon, fuck, I don't even know what it is, but
mm-hmm.
DSLR Canon. I don't need that. I can just use my iPhone, and
Right.
it works out pretty well. And the difference between, let's just say, like iPhone quality to your $1,000 camera is not that bad, just because like there's a lot of like color grading you can do to fix it. And I don't know. It's just, you just need a phone.
Exactly. And I think you can tie that into streaming too. When it comes to like, there's people that like worry about equipment stuff like that, and
Oh
like mad
yeah,
respect to people that know what their stuff is, because I kind of understand like the equipment I use and everything. But if you have the expensive things there, but you're not doing like the most with that kind of stuff, it's like, how much is it really worth? You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Um,
People buy a bunch of brand new, like expensive equipment, and then
mhm.
it's just their first stream. Yeah, you should like definitely, but maybe you downgrade a little bit. Don't go all in.
Yeah. And then where were we going? Where were we going with this?
I think we were talking about like how you've always been an entertainer,
Oh yeah.
and you're tying that into streaming, like how how the camera stuff, like it's not about the person who holds it's not about the camera, it's about the person holding the camera.
Yeah, I didn't expect myself to be this entertainer. Um because I like, when Asian parents tell you like, oh, you should become a doctor, you get money and stuff like that. So in my mind I was like, oh, I'll be an engineer. I'll just get the money. I like electronics, why not be
Chase the
EE,
bag.
right?
uh
Turns out, my respect for those. There's nothing wrong with EE. My respect for those that finish it, but Calc 3 linear, I couldn't do it. I felt so burnt out, and I like my focus wasn't there. And then I think in my how my mind worked was I started liking how, um, specifically Asian Americans weren't really that into, like the film industry, being an entertainer and
hmm
stuff like that. And I was like, really? There's a lot of people out there that could be funny, or like be in Hollywood, stuff like that. So that's where I started going with that. Very, it might
did
be
did Crazy Rich Asians like ever like inspire you a little bit, or was it just like
uh
Asian YouTubers?
I think a combination of both. Crazy Rich Asians, um I like, I'm not gonna say I was gonna say I like, but to each their own. Everyone,
uh
beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I like the movie because, one, I know, who's the actor? What's her name again? Something Woo.
the girl playing Fresh Off the Boat. Yeah.
Yes.
Forgot her
From
name though.
prom I need to
Promise
look it up.
Wu? No, Promise Wu. Yeah.
Let me look it up real
Promise.
quick.
Yeah, go. Okay, but I wanna talk about that too. Like, I don't know personally if I like it
Constance
because
Wu.
oh, Constance. Yeah, no promise. I don't know if I like the movie because they're Asian or if I like the movie for the movie. You know, I'm like conflicted
Uh,
because it was okay.
I thought Ken Jeong was funny when he
Yes, yeah,
said
he.
CSU Fullerton. I was like, okay. But that and I can't really remember the movie as much now, but I can see like on the international side where the whole money becomes a
Uh
problem kind
huh.
of thing. So like I don't relate to that story personally, but I can
Yeah.
see how other people can relate to that. So, um, but I think the idea of having more Asian Americans in media is cool to me. Um, like there's nothing wrong with other people in there, but it's just like, when you talk about like Wong Fu or you talk about,
Oh,
um, you
Ryan
know,
Higa.
Ryan Higa, they've been there since they've been there since the game started.
Yep.
Um, so it's like I think it's about time for new people to kind of come in, like give out their ideas and stuff like that. So I guess you could say there's some inspiration taken from them, and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yep. Yep. You're definitely on the track. Like, not. I mean, I know you're not doing films, but you're doing like promotional stuff, which
Yeah,
is
very
helps
small
people.
things is what I'm doing.
Yeah, we're thinking about making your own film because we know personally like oh we can so I don't know if we should say her name, but we know someone who like makes her own like indie films, right?
Hmm.
If you know who I'm referring to, and then like she she's made like three of them over the past years, and like she's literally just gets a bunch of friends and makes a
Oh,
film.
yes.
But I don't know if she can do it with COVID, but I don't know.
Hmm.
I just think like making your own, I guess, movie, like that's like part of those like animes where it's like, oh, let's make a movie, and then you do it, and then it's shit, but you had fun doing it, you know. So
Hmm.
I kind of like that.
I remember now who you're talking about, but yeah.
Yes.
Would I do something like that? I mean, possibly, but it takes a lot of effort and work and stuff like that. So maybe if it's something I want to do as like a passion project, then sure. Um, but yeah, it's something probably I would be interested in.
Yes. think I think we I think that wraps it up, right? Do
Let's
you
see.
want to talk any
I
last minute
I
topics?
think that's pretty good for
Okay,
our
let's
first
let's
podcast.
yes. Let's give a shout out to Feli Desu, for being active in chat,
Is he there?
He-
Thank you.
yeah, yes. I feel like yes, it is very a first
Here.
podcasty thing. But do you want to give any shout outs to like people who might be listening later?
Um, I
Like
think
AC from space.
yeah. Shout out AC from space. If you're watching this, you're wonderful. And I think I don't want to single out too many people, but whoever is listening to this, thank you for listening. If you like it, like legit, just we're still small. It's not like we're some big company, like not gonna answer your emails or things like that. But just let us know if you like hearing more of these things. If you want, feel free to submit. Like or just tell us what like we want to talk about. We have things like kind of lined up. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's like scary stories we can talk about, um, dreams, like content creation. We ain't gonna talk about politics because that's been talked about way too many
Hmm,
times. But
spicy.
this is more of a comfy vibe. It's just friends talking back and forth kind of feel. Um, but yeah, if you want to hear something specifically from our experience or anything like that, just let us know.
And then the next time we have this podcast, hopefully if there's a next time, we will have a guest, and
Yeah.
we will to establish this, me and Albert will be like the host, I guess, and then from there we'll just add on a member or two, and we'll just rotate people.
That's true. And if you have someone, I mean, it might be a shot in the dark or like a really long, like, you know, just gander. But if there's someone that you think would fit this podcast. Like there's people online, but if you want to be on it or you have someone in mind that would like to be on it, just let us know. Figure something out. But it's just hopefully our goal with this podcast is like um there's something that you can relate to or something you like listening to in the background. And for me it's like or for both of us it's kind of like a peace of mind. Like it's just us hanging out as friends, trying to figure out what we can do, not being
Mm,
able to physically see each other, of course. Um so yeah.
pretty good. Um, just I mean, this is the first time I'm asking you this, but like, how many times are we gonna do this?
I don't know.
Once a
One,
week?
once a
Twice?
week, twice
Once
a
every 2 weeks?
once every two
We'll see.
weeks.
Yeah, something like that. We'll figure out the schedule.
Yeah, we'll
But
figure it
yeah.
out. But it's still in the making.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll fade this out. I think.
Yes. Thank
Good
you for
talk. Thank you,
watching.
everyone listening to the podcast. We'll see you the next time, or feel free to come by.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays. See you all soon.